I want to tell you a story that's not just about missiles and militaries, but about political chess, shifting alliances, and the razor's edge of war in the Middle East. Turkey, a NATO ally, bought Russia's S-400 air defense system, and that alone stirred waves in Washington. But now Turkey is reportedly considering something even more volatile, sending those same Russian-made S-400s into Syria. Why? Some say it's a bold power move to win back access to American F-35 stealth fighters. Others see it as Ankara testing red lines. Not just Washington's, but Israel's too. Because here's the kicker. The moment those S-400s touch Syrian soil, everything changes. For Israel, this isn't just politics. It's an existential threat. These missiles could track or target Israeli jets operating in Syria, where they regularly carry out strikes to stop Iranian weapons shipments. And that makes this potential deployment a powder keg. Israel's reaction to Turkey's potential S-400 deployment was fast and fierce. The Israeli Air Force didn't just issue warnings, they bombed the very Syrian airbases Turkey had just begun surveying. These bases in central Syria were being scoped out by Turkish forces as possible drone and air defense hubs in coordination with Syria's new president, Ahmed al-Sharaa. And that raises the stakes even higher. See, Syria has long been a battlefield of competing powers: Iran, Russia, the United States, Turkey, Israel. But now, with Turkey openly collaborating with the Syrian government and possibly setting up air defenses, Israel sees a dangerous shift. Especially if those air defenses include the S-400, a system capable of tracking and potentially engaging Israeli aircraft deep into Syrian and even Israeli airspace. Israel views any advanced air defense, especially Russian-made, as a direct threat to its freedom of movement. It's not about ego, it's about survival. Every Israeli strike in Syria is preemptive, to stop missiles, drones, or weapons from reaching Hezbollah or Iranian militias, but with Turkish-backed air defenses in place. Every operation risks confrontation with another regional power. That's not just a tactical risk, it's a geopolitical nightmare. Turkey's maneuver isn't just regional, it's global. Deploying Russian S-400s into Syria puts Ankara at direct odds with both Washington and NATO. Remember, the whole F-35 fallout started because Turkey bought the S-400 from Russia in the first place, a system NATO says threatens the security of Allied aircraft. So why double down? Some analysts believe Turkey is playing a high-stakes game of diplomatic brinkmanship. By pushing the S-400 into Syria, Ankara might be signaling two things. One, it wants to carve out its own sphere of influence in the region, with or without NATO's blessing. And two, it's betting that Washington might trade reinstated F-35 access in exchange for Turkey scaling back. But that's a dangerous bluff. The US won't just sit by as Russian-made radar systems get positioned in a volatile war zone. And NATO, they're already divided, wary of Turkey's closeness to Moscow and its growing independence. Every move Ankara makes now sends ripples, not just through Syria or Israel, but across the entire Western alliance. Turkey isn't just risking Israeli backlash, it's risking the very foundation of its role in NATO. The skies over Syria are getting dangerously crowded. Turkish and Israeli jets already operate in overlapping airspace. Now imagine both sides on high alert, navigating near each other, each unsure of the other's intent. One misread radar blip, one overstep. That's all it would take to spark a shootdown or worse, a direct military clash. Now that's why Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan is pushing hard for a deconfliction mechanism. Basically, a real-time communication channel to avoid accidents in the air. Israel, too, knows how quickly things can spiral. They've already bombed the Syrian bases Turkey was eyeing, but they haven't shut the door on talks. Still, with S-400s in the mix, the risk calculus changes. These aren't just defensive weapons, they reshape the entire aerial balance. And Israel, which relies on fast, stealthy strikes to counter Iran's influence in Syria, cannot afford a new layer of risk. So, what happens next? That depends on whether Turkey backs down or doubles down. Whether Israel tolerates a new player on its flank or acts preemptively again. And whether the US steps in to mediate or watches one of its key NATO allies edge closer to confrontation. The clock's ticking, one wrong move in Syrian skies, and this crisis becomes a conflict. This isn't just a story about missiles or jets. It's about power, pride, and the razor-thin line between strategy and provocation. Turkey wants leverage, Israel wants security, the United States wants stability, and Syria, it remains the stage where everyone else plays out their moves. The potential deployment of S-400 ES in Syria is more than a military maneuver. It's a diplomatic earthquake waiting to happen. It risks fracturing already fragile alliances, inflaming regional hostilities, and dragging global powers closer to direct confrontation. So what can we take from this? That the modern battlefield isn't just fought with firepower, it's shaped by perception, positioning, and precision timing. Every missile moved, every airbase bombed, every negotiation delayed, they all echo far beyond borders. Because in geopolitics, it's never just about where you place your weapons. It's about what message you send when you do.